We started on this first assignment in week 3. And I'd like to do it by talking to you a little bit about how you're going to be taking notes. This is reading through the material, actually looking at work, getting away from the principles and the elements, looking at the work and starting to think about what it's saying to you, or at least what the style in this particular instance is. Okay? Now, all of your readings over here, all of these right in here, give you lots of information, determining a style, what is a style, a subject, terms and styles, that kind of thing. Read that so you kind of have an idea before you start discussing style. And then choose a term here. I'm just going to go with this one right here. Can artwork be both naturalistic and idealized? And explain by using 2 specific examples. All right. Now, if I do that and then I get back over to my sections, this one is the one on realism, all right? And I'm going to read about the realism. Now, to do this, regardless of what topic you choose, you need to be very carefully taking notes. And be sure as you take notes, you have your source down. Now, what I would say here is this is the web page, the lecture notes on, and I would write down widely used terms of style. And you can specifically say up here, realism, for an example, is a specific art movement, all right? And you can find what we call naturalism. And the reason, of course, that we want to do that is, back in the original, we're talking about naturalistic and idealized, okay, artwork. And the question is, can they be both? Can it be naturalistic or realistic? And can it be idealized or just some beautiful thing? Now, if you don't know about what these terms are, the first thing, of course, you want to do is read about them. And then sit down methodically and make notes for yourself. Now, I don't care if you do them in shorthand. I don't care if you do them in another language. Just make sure they're specific and they give you the information you need to put in your final project, all right? So first of all, I would set on this question, I would set about looking for the definition on naturalistic and idealized, all right? Having done that somewhat in advance, my answers here would be, of course, naturalistic is more realistic. It looks like nature. It looks like what it really is. It's not where you say that that's a green tree because it's green and it's long and tall. It actually looks like a green tree, and it looks exactly like a green tree. So there's that element of realism that comes into it, all right? And then what I would do is I would go over, and to be sure I knew what I wanted to put in my essay, I would come over and look up the section on the left on illusionism and idealism. And I would want to know specifically about idealism. So I would go down here and read this section on that. Now, if I didn't have all the information I needed, if I was still a little shaky, you know what I'd do? I'd go up to my search engine and I would write in whatever I wanted to know about. Let's put in illusion. Hope I'm spelling it right. No, I did. L-S, illusionism. Is that right? I think illusionism painting. Right there. It just pops up and helps me. And here we are. And I have some ideas about where to go on this. Wikipedia I wouldn't go to. Illusionism here. This is another Wikipedia. I would look for something like, well, something that's a little more, here's a dictionary reference that might work. Here's painting illusionism. That might work. I would look in that. If you have a book, fineartsinamerica.com, illusionism paintings for sale. Well, we don't want to buy one. We just want to learn about it, right? And here's another one that's another book. So if you have a book, look it up there. If you don't, look for a definition here that might be something you're interested in that would specifically give you the information that you need. Now, the only thing you need to be sure of when you do that is that you write down the author. You don't have to have it in an exact form, the MLA, but you should have the author, the publication, the date of publication, and the page. And footnote that, if you will. Go back through how you footnote. If you don't know how, I may put up a video on footnoting a little bit later if you need me to. But anyway, so illusionism and naturalism. This is a painting by Gustave Courbet. It's in your lecture notes. And it's black and white, which is unfortunate. But were it in color, and originally, of course, it was, you can see how very realistic it is. Realistic in every aspect. I mean, the people look real, the hands look real, the faces, the hats, the background, the rocks, everything looks really just like it must be if you took a photograph. So naturalistic in that sense, very much so. All right, now by contrast, I might pull this picture up, which is also in your lecture notes, and this is the Sandro Botticelli Birth of Venus, very idealized. That doesn't mean that this isn't a tree or this isn't hair, it's just that hair doesn't really blow like that, does it? And trees don't really look like that. You can see leaves all right, but you know. So then you've got a description, you have two examples. Now you go back to the original question, which is basically analyze these, you know? And after you do all this work and take really great notes, then you try to write it out so that it makes sense. Can artwork be both naturalistic and idealized? Well, I'll leave that up to you. Uh, you come to an opinion, and then as you come to that opinion, explain it by using two specific art examples. You don't have to use the ones I showed you, but this is just to kind of help you get started. Important thing is write it correctly grammatically. Be careful that you put a period where it needs to go. And there are all sorts of resources if you're not clear about this. If you go back to the announcements at the beginning of the course, if you want a little bit of help, that's a good place to get it. But be very careful and try very hard to write down your sources in some kind of form so that we know exactly where you're getting this information. If it's your opinion, state it. It is my opinion. Or state, it appears to me that, or it looks like this is one way, very realistic, and this is not realistic particularly, although it's beautiful hair, it doesn't really look like hair. Okay? I look forward to reading what you all write. Hope this helps a little.